Inside here, there's, well, what an expression system, we can talk more about it in a little bit, but there's a pickup underneath this last fret, and then on the most recent version, there's a body sensor right here, and there's a switch inside there that can shut this body sensor off and just use the neck pickup alone.
What would that be?
The body sensor is a little neodymium magnet that's.
No, I'm talking about as far as the type of music. Are you going to achieve
The body sensor will give you more fidelity, so you'll hear more of the sizzle and top end and that through an acoustic. You hear more full range. If you're going louder and playing with other guys, sometimes you don't want that big sound, so you can take that off, or just to change the sound of it.
As well, I had a personal experience with it. I had, I think I still had a 2-sensor one, an older one, because it was about 4 years ago. But if you're playing on stage like I am now, and if you're playing with a bunch of other players and people are using monitors, I'm not using monitors. Even playing solo guitar, if you're using a monitor right in front, and now you have the sound going in the sound hole, and that sizzle that Barney is talking about can pick up, these high frequencies can feedback real fast, because the higher frequencies, they move a lot faster than lower frequencies. And so you can get a little squeal out of your monitors. So it's also for that reason too. If you're close to monitors, playing with a lot of guys, their music is going into your guitar. So that's what's the sensor on the top of the body. That's what's picking up all of the sound, all the ambient sound. So you just shut the sensor off, then you have this pickup. It's all concealed. It's not picking up anything but your guitar. So that way you can get rid of feedback. And that's what I had to do on stage. I just shut the sensor off. And you know, in a band situation, when you have all kinds of people playing, it's not going to matter a heck of a lot. People aren't going to believe, listen, a whole band and go, gee, I wish that GC had a little more high end. You know, not going to happen.
They're all Elixir NanoWeb 8020s. The big body guitars are the Dreadnought and the Grand Symphony are mediums, and the small body guitars are lights, so 13s and 12s. The nylon are D'Addario Del Arte extra hard tension. Because our guitars play really easily, where it's like the most tension you can get, otherwise you get a little sloppier on those ones. That's a loaded question. The first part of the question, I would say the 814 CE is probably the best known guitar for us. It's a Grand Auditorium. We're known for our cutaway electronics. I left all the cutaways and bursts and everything off my demo guitars for Shapes and Tonewoods, so I could avoid the question of how, does a cutaway change the sound? Does it do this, or does a burst change the sound? All those questions that always get asked of it, so we could keep it as consistent as possible. But an 814 CE is what we're best known for. Second part of your question, the best sounding, that's totally subjective. How many people think Taylor makes the best sounding guitar? And be totally honest with this. There. Okay, cool. Huh? One of the best, right. Sound is totally subjective. How many people think Taylor makes, it was about half the room, how many people think Taylor makes the best playing guitars? that went up a little bit, because that's something that's achievable, the most repairable, the most adjustable, the best playing. All those things are achievable. Making the best sounding guitars, if we changed all the sound of our guitars, those half that were up we make them now the best sounding, now these hands would go up. So best sounding is really hard to think. And each one's a different tool. I use my Crescent wrench as much as I use my socket set. They're two different tools that you use for different purposes.